man,
So get in
it's
here.
on brand.
There's me. It's on brand. Oh, let's do something goofy. That's Bob the Cigar Guy right there. As Mac is leaving the building right now,
Yeah.
we got to smoke something.
Okay, what do you want to
I
smoke?
pulled that knuckle buster out
Yeah.
because it's a shade,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought you might want a lighter smoke because I
Sure.
don't know what you've been smoking today. But if you don't want that,
A little bit of
I got a
everything.
little pack of Roma. If you want to go to the other end of the spectrum,
Oh
we've
yeah.
got which one of those you want?
I'll try the Whiskey Rebellion.
Whiskey Rebellion. That's one of Chief's favorite Romas.
Oh, then I want something else.
No, too late. You can't do it. You can't do it.
He's not watching anyway.
No, he's not. Oh wait, where are my manners? Hey everybody, this is Bob the
Hello.
Cigar Guy and Mac, and we are doing the PCA 2024 After Dark Edition,
Thank you,
brought
sir.
to you by our good friends at
Vinegar.
Villiger. That's right. If you don't have a cigar in your hands, why don't you put one in there? And if you do, why don't you make it Villiger? Because you're going to be happy that you did. That's right. Well, I tell you what, I'm getting good at saying that.
Yeah.
PCA 2024 needs to go on for a couple weeks. By the way, I cheated. I went and got me a dang long hammer shirt to go up under this. I did not wear this long hammer shirt, which actually looks good with the hood. I like
does.
that. I actually wished I would have done that today. But it is a great day. I'm tired. My legs are like spaghetti.
Yep.
I covered that floor. I had 9,000 plus steps yesterday, and I guarantee I had more than that today.
But you're still in good voice.
I am in good voice,
Like
and
my voice is shot.
I have done some reviews today. That is for sure. And we had a great time. So while I'm getting myself set up, why don't you talk about what you did in your great time, your experiences, and what you saw?
Again, we were just meeting with our customers today for Swisher and Drew Estate, and I was thinking about it on the way home how amazing Vegas is. We met with either a current customer or a potential customer from every continent minus Antarctica.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's
I
kind
mean,
of
we
cool.
have people from Asia, Europe, Africa, South America, North America. Just amazing. And, you know, even we met with our customer in Turkey who covers Asia and Europe at the same time. So,
Wow.
you know, just a great day. And it's like you always say, it's mainly about, yeah, we're talking business, but it's about catching up with friends too.
Absolutely.
So
I got run into by Tim Swanson, which I was so wanting to see him. I wanted to see him in Dojo today, and I got to see both of them. But Tim Swanson had his little camera, one of them little bitty flippy dips,
Yeah.
and he comes walking up, and I go running up to him and give him a big old hug.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh Lord!" We get a big old. His voice was high like that
Yeah.
too, because I was squeezing pretty hard. He's a small frame feller. He's a boxer. He's a small frame feller, so you got to wrap them little guys up
Yeah.
because they're squirrely, right? So we get to chat, and he talks to Chief, he talks to me, and then he goes, "Hey, I got to do a video of you right now because this is part of my experience." And I said, "Buddy, let me tell you what you did." I said, "You don't have to do that because last time you said my name on a PCA video, little pop-up live, we got 200 subscribers within 5 hours."
Wow.
That man has power and clout.
He's got the juice.
And so he did the video, which is amazing and awesome. It was real, just quick, 30-second, 45-second pop-up. And I saw him a couple times later in the day. I went and gave him a big old hug. And this is how amazing Tim is. Tim is the biggest cigar reviewer there is. He
Okay.
has over 1 million subscribers. I mean, it's crazy how huge his subscribership is and how he is so popular. Guy comes up to Tim and says, "Hey, oh my gosh, I snuck into the PCA. I got a friend who works in local government, and he got me a ticket." And Tim was like, "Good for you." Right, what are you gonna say?
Vegas at work, right?
He said, "Good for you." And he goes, "You were on my list of people I had to see. Can I get a picture?" And so I was gonna take the picture.
Yeah.
And Tim goes, I was standing there. He goes, "Do you know Bob?" And he goes, "Yes, I watch your shows. Both of y'all are the people that I
Wow.
watch all the time." And Tim rightfully deserved his shine. He deserved his moment with his photo from a guy who wanted to see him and wanted to get that. And you know what Tim did?
Shared it.
Tim said, "Hey, why don't you get a picture with both me and Bob?" And the guy, to his benefit, did not go, Okay.
Nah, yeah,
Thinking I'm going to have to crop that thing.
I'm good.
But he said, yeah, right? And so I grabbed Steven and I said, hey, Chief, come take a picture,
Yeah.
right? And so that was an amazing, neat moment. And me and him got to talk a little bit about other stuff and just catching up so fast. He is fantastic.
He might
and
be the
amazing.
biggest in subscribers, but he doesn't have the biggest heart.
Oh,
I'm
no.
sitting next to that guy right here.
Well, you are too kind, but Tim he's amazing. I aspire to his kindness and greatness, that's for sure. So we went back to Bagel Mania.
Mm-hmm.
I had exactly what I had the day before.
I got smart this time. I didn't toast the everything bagel.
Yeah, I noticed that when you said when you said you want to toast it, you said no, and I'm like, didn't want that
not
char.
toasting that.
But you toasted the other one.
Yeah, because that's a plain bagel, so it's not charred. It's just, that's nice and toasty. But if you get an everything bagel toasted there, it
Saw
comes
the
out.
seeds.
Yeah, it came out and it was a burnt mess. It was still good. And today was even better.
Well, I had an egg bagel for the first time.
Yeah.
Came out yellow. Was a little chewy.
When you ordered that, did you see the look I gave you when you ordered it?
I never had one. So I ordered my little sandwich that's supposed to come with avocado, but who in God's name wants avocado? It's nasty. And so I told them to hold the avocado, and it was an over easy egg.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want that runny crap. Make it scrambled, right?
Right.
So they scrambled the egg. They got rid of the avocado. There's an A in there somewhere. I just left it out. They got rid of the avocado. And so with a little piece of turkey sausage, and the bagel's this big, turkey sausage is this big, right? And they cut it in half so you don't notice till you get to the end. So that's what they do. But I only ate half of it, and then I ate the rest of the egg and and it had a hash brown on the bottom of it, which I kind of kicked the hash brown. It was greasy and soft.
That to me is going to be too soggy.
Yeah, it was.
Especially underneath an egg.
Yeah, this was not Waffle House.
No.
Scattered, smothered, covered in chunks, right? This was Bagel Mania, but everybody went to Bagel Mania, and I think that's because Mac told people he went to Bagel Mania, and they wanted to sit where Mac sat last time. But we had a whole bunch of the Deadly Breakfast Club there, and then we ran you back here.
Yeah.
We ran you back here, and then we went over to the show.
Yeah.
Yesterday,
you get early entrance.
Right. Yesterday, Chief and I could not find the truck when we left PCA. We walked around, and I was just following him because I'm like, well, if he finds the dang truck, then he yells at me, I've got to walk all the way back there, so we'll just walk around until we find it. Couldn't find it.
Little buzzer?
Couldn't find it. And so I said, well, hit the dang button, because that's what I do, right? I'll lock and unlock my car so I don't look like an old man who can't find his car.
Right.
And I hit the button. Well, he says, it doesn't beep when you lock and unlock it. And it's true. It's a very subtle beep. I mean, you can't hear it for nothing.
Yeah.
And I said, hit the alarm.
Yeah.
And so we're walking around, and we've now split because he said, why aren't we split up? We're covering twice as much ground. I said, okay. So I walked the other way, and I'm looking at the same place I just looked at, and all of a sudden I hear, "Bronk, bronk, 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 bronk," and I see him walking towards that crazy noise, and I knew that he had used my suggestion, and it had been fruitful because we found the truck.
Yeah.
And that was
right
yesterday.
in front of
It was pretty close. It was in the front.
Yeah, but did you say, I found it?
Nope, I didn't say nothing. So today, when we went to park, we didn't park in the front area.
Yeah.
We parked right next to the handicap area. So we could remember handicap.
Did it work?
You like a charm. Like a charm. And so then we went inside and we did some little huggies and talking to people and this and that and saw some other people, and then we got to start our interview process.
Yeah.
Now, we had some holes in our interviews.
You guys were hopping today.
We did. We did a lot of pop-ups. We did a lot of extra stuff, but we had some gaps in our schedule. A couple gaps in our schedule. Roma Craft always has to be difficult, and they scheduled on the half an hour instead of on the hour.
Yeah.
So we had an hour and a half gap. We had to do Roma Craft, and then we had 30 minutes. Then we had to get to our next one. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So I did steal some stuff. I stole some stuff. I stole some stuff, right? So,
Ooh, look at that.
that's my book.
Oh, this is your book.
That's my book.
I thought you stole that book from
No,
somebody.
this is my book. Steve's got all the stuff on the phone and this and that and computerized, and he sent me a picture of it, and so I put it in my book. So all I have to do is open my book, It's got this little thing, and to be funny, this is some weird name, Illumina,
Illumina.
right? This is
Well, we all knew you were part of the
Illuminati,
Illuminati.
right? Um, there's a book maker, the guy that makes all these different things, tons of them. When they stamp them wrong, or the people don't pay for
Yeah.
the thing, they sell it to this guy who takes it to our local flea market and sells all the books for $1 a piece. So I've got
Yeah.
some amazing calendar books, schedulers. I've got some notebooks, some notepads, and I had picked up a bunch of these and just have had them forever. And so I pull one out of the drawer, and this is
Yeah.
what I use. A little bit of Bob the Cigar Guy background, right?
BTCG
Yeah.
trivia.
Yeah, you didn't need to know all that, but so I'm thinking we had a pop up here, but I don't remember what it was. I'll remember by the time it's over, maybe.
Yeah.
And if not, it never happened. So the first place we went to on this schedule, and I got to find the cigars, is the Adventura. No, I didn't get any cigars from them. They gave me a cigar to
Okay.
smoke, and that was it. So we went to Adventura, and we got Blue Eyed Jack's Revenge, which is a response to last year's Barbarossa's Revenge.
Okay.
And the thing about Barbarossa's Revenge is the box, you actually push a button and it would talk. And it would tell you this funky story from this pirate's perspective.
Okay.
Well, this is One-Eyed Blue-Eyed Jack's
Blue-eyed Jack.
response. And so that box talks back to the first box.
Oh, could you do dueling
I
banjos?
think so. I think so. And it was great. Their products are always fantastic and
Yeah.
phenomenal. The Blue-Eyed Jack, and there's another one, the I forget what it's called. It's got the metal bands. Are you
Yeah.
familiar with the Adventura's bands?
Yeah, I've seen
They're
them.
that nice tinny. They're really nice. They're actually, if cheap jewelry.
I'm gonna wait for the Steed Bonnet. That's my favorite pirate.
Who?
Steed Bonnet, the gentleman pirate. We'll talk about that later.
I was gonna say I have no familiarity with Mr. Bonnet. So, we got done with Adventura. Then, Barbarossa's Invasion was actually number
Yeah.
12 on my list last year. And then we went to, and this was the butt pucker moment. We went to Drew Estate,
Oh yeah.
where I was going to be interviewed by Izzy
The tables were turned.
and Jonathan Drew.
So you interviewing, you were getting interviewed.
Oh my gosh. And when I first started going to Barn Smokers and really getting with Drew Estate, Fabian had asked me who would I like to interview, and Fabian was shuttling people out for me to interview. He said, "You sit this
Yeah.
table, and I'll send them to you." And I asked him about Jonathan Drew, and he told me Jonathan Drew doesn't really like to do interviews.
Right.
He'd rather be with the people.
Yeah.
And so at that point, I said, you know what? I see the merit in that. I'm never going to ask Jonathan Drew for an interview. That's just going to be one that got away.
Mm-hmm.
And to know yesterday when they told me,
That's my fan club.
that's your superstar
my
club.
fan club, yeah.
He's got a Ryobi in his pocket.
Yeah.
But I found out that I was going to get to interview Jonathan Drew. I was kind of nervous, but I was excited. You know, something that I never expected to happen is going to happen. And then I find out that Jonathan Drew is going to interview me.
Yep.
Everything puckered up,
Yeah.
right? It was. I've been nerve-wracked a little bit about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the time came, and Tom, what they did was
Tommy Z
took us to different stations where we met Pedro, and we saw Hatfield from Blackened.
Yeah.
We were supposed to see Willie, but it just kept getting crossed, and ended
Yeah.
up one of the people that were doing the photos or the behind the stage thing with Jonathan and Izzy, they didn't show up.
Okay.
And so they grabbed me and put me up there with Jonathan
Yeah.
Drew. So in Jonathan Drew's style, I'm standing there, and the last people have come to Jonathan Drew, and he's talking for 5 minutes.
Yep.
And Izzy's like, "We'll do it in a minute." And I said, "I got all the time in the world," knowing that my next appointment is a hard appointment that I need to get to, and I'm like, because it's General Cigars.
Yeah, but it's Jonathan Drew.
I know, but it's
I'll
General
be-
Cigars.
Yeah, but I'll be late. I'll be
I was
30 minutes late
I was
to hang with
I was
Jonathan Drew.
I was thinking about that. And they had a little lounge area where
Yeah.
everybody would sit. Joao was doing the video. Steven couldn't video that part
Right.
because I couldn't be mic'd up and
Right.
they couldn't be mic'd up with the mics.
He
right?
couldn't do it behind the scenes?
he couldn't get the mics on it, and we did not want. There was nothing behind them. He couldn't really do it, and he couldn't shoot over Josh and all that equipment. There was equipment,
All right.
and so finally they kind of moved, and Isola told me to come sit down. I sat down in the middle. They put me in the middle, right? And so they put me in the middle, and I said, okay, we'll sit here and we'll do the thing. And I look up, and there's Josh Roquet behind this big sign, this digital sign that says 05.00. I said, y'all got a 5-minute timer on this thing. She goes, yep. I said, y'all ever hit that mark? Nope. And I said, okay. And so we're sitting back there, and Jonathan Drew's about to come up, and he goes, hey, or somebody comes up to him, and he stops.
Yeah.
And so we're just sitting there waiting, and she's like, we'll start in a minute. And I said, that's fine. So Jonathan sits down, and they tell me to put the microphone right up in my face. Got to be tight.
Yeah.
Got to be tight.
Yeah.
Right?
Speak into the mic.
I got to be tight, because I was holding it down here, and Jonathan Drew told me to put that thing up there, right? So Steven says he's got some pictures and some videos. Mac, is there anything you'd like to say to Chief while he's watching?
No, I got nothing for him.
No, you ain't got nothing for him? Yeah, but the roles are reversed.
I know.
Right?
I know.
So
I like to take the high road. I don't like to play down in the gutter.
In other words, he doesn't want to do it in front of people for evidence.
I couldn't say that with a straight face.
No,
I'll be honest. I'll be honest.
But it's all in love.
Yeah, my mom might watch this. I want to, keep it on the up and up.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah. Hi, Jan.
Mac's a good boy.
Hey.
Mac's a good boy. Paul, go to bed. Oh wait, that's Thursday nights. So Jonathan Drew sits down, and he goes, "We selected a tight group of people to interview, and we knew you had to be one." And I was extremely humbled and blessed. I tried to, say positive things and thank him for all the stuff he does for everybody, and for Izzy and for Drew Estate, and for all these other things. But he spent the majority of the time telling me that he says everybody loves Bob the Cigar Guy and Chief at Drew Estate. He goes, every time we have a meeting and they need to throw something to somebody, they're going to throw your name out there.
Yeah.
And he goes, it got to a point to where I was like, who the hell is Bob the Cigar Guy? And he goes, and then he looked at me, because I was sitting there going, a tear was starting to well up. He didn't know who I was, right? And he goes, I'm not saying that. He goes, I'm not saying that I didn't know you.
Yeah.
He said, because you're grown up, you're mature, you work all the time, you're in charge of things all the time, you don't say stupid stuff, I don't have to babysit you, you put out great content, you and Chief do great things, and I don't have to worry about you.
You do great things.
He said, Chief, he said, I don't have to worry about you, so I let everybody else do it.
Yeah.
But I was sitting there thinking to myself, this has got to be a great team, a great set of guys, because everybody loves you. He goes in the shop, in the office, each group has somebody they like,
right?
But nobody
likes everybody.
Is liked by everybody. And he says we hold that title, and so I told them that we're going to keep coming and doing barn smokers and everything he allows us to do until they file a restraining order.
Yeah.
And he actually laughed, and he goes, "You're never getting one of those." And I said, "Done."
Well, Bob is burying the lead, because when he showed up, I mean, it was it was almost like Elvis had entered the building. I mean, everyone is going up and giving him a hug, and because look, if you're in sales, and it's super exciting to be at PCA. It's super exciting to see your friends, but it's also a long day, and you're working hard, and they were working hard yesterday, and then a dinner. You usually take a customer out to dinner, and you don't get home till late, and you got to be at the show floor early. And so
that concrete's hard.
Yeah, when you see someone you like, and you can get a big hug from Bob the Cigar Guy, it's like drinking a Red Bull plus a Monster.
That's phenomenal. I love this guy. And so all these great platitudes, and they gave me one of these Drew Estate PCA 2024. They gave Chief one, and a couple times I think we might have got a couple more, and I don't know if we have enough, but this may actually be in the giveaway for the bracket. I'm not sure yet. I don't know if we have enough, But if we do, that may be something we do. So you can get something
It's a
from the
good
trade
one.
show floor.
It's a good one.
It's got both of the blackened cigars
Yeah.
in here. I know. I
Got
don't know
the
what
new
else is
shade
in
of
there.
black.
It's got that in there. But after all this greatness, all this kindness, all this wonderfulness that they poured on me and Chief, and what did I turn around and go and do? I stole something.
Well, I maybe I need to leave. I don't know if I can be implicated
I
in this.
stole something.
I had nothing to do with this, Glenn. Ooh. Wow.
If I'm going to get in trouble,
Yeah,
I'm going to get in trouble.
Right.
Look at that right there. S84 shade to black ashtray. It's got
Yeah.
a cigar wrist. Now that's pretty smart how they got the
Yeah.
cigar wrist sitting on there. And they had this truck there in the middle of the booth. I mean, that thing's neat. It's right. That's pretty snazzy,
It's on it.
right? So that is not going in a giveaway. Let me just tell you that right now. If I'm going to get canceled by Duro State, I'm going to keep it.
Yes.
And Chief can't have it
I
either.
think they would want you to keep it.
If I stole it?
You know.
If I stole it? I hope Roy doesn't watch this because then he's going to say, Bob,
That was mine.
Bob,
I had my eye on
Bob, I was trying to get all 12 and you took one. Bob.
that. I didn't even see that. Where did they have that?
They're on the wall.
got
under
it off
glass
the
cases.
wall.
They were under glass cases. There was a
man.
shelf on the
Man.
wall that had like 4 or 5 of them at an angle, nice and pretty, and 3 shelves worth. And when you go in there tomorrow, you look. There's going to be one missing.
I'm not
looking.
looking.
I bet they moved it up to the middle where the 3
Yeah.
are now there, and they shifted them so it kind of looks like a zigzag checkerboard, right?
Because I had, when I was in the Army, I was one of my jobs, I was an executive officer for a cavalry troop. And when you're the executive officer, your main job is to keep everything running. You know, all the vehicles got to be running. And, you know, parts, all the money we spend in the military, you're always short on parts.
Right.
And I kind of had a reputation for being able to procure parts from.
You were a scrounge.
Yeah, I was a scrounger.
You were Max Kramer.
I don't have the guts to take it off the wall.
And it's right there where
You're
everybody
crazy,
can see
man.
it.
Yeah,
No,
you're
it's where
crazy.
everybody can see it.
And if I did, I certainly wouldn't show it on a live. But
Yeah, I ain't got no
you
sense
know,
in my head.
you got.
I ain't got no sense in my head.
I don't think anyone will say anything.
I hope I'll see y'all at Barn Smoker next year. And if I can't go, Chief can't go. So that's all that's to it. Is your microphone on?
I think so. Is it not?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
Because it didn't. Oh, yeah, it's picking up down there. I see it. I don't know if I'm number 1 or you're number 2.
Yeah, okay.
Or
Well,
vice
I'm always
versa.
number 2 next to you, Bob.
Well, I was about to tell a potty joke, so I won't tell it now because that just won't
Yeah,
work well.
always number 2 to you, Bob.
Oh, my friend, you are the wind beneath my wings. You are the foundation in which I stand upon. How many people have we got? Let me see. Oh, we got 11 people. See, you have to look
Yeah.
up there. I'm not waving at you. I'm just trying to see the
Yeah.
numbers on the screen. So after we got done doing that, which was amazing,
Yeah.
and actually, I didn't tell this story. Under the water tower
Yeah.
is bars all the way around,
Right.
and they're giving out shots of Blackened.
Mm-hmm.
Standing there waiting to go, and I told Chief, I told Steven, I said, buddy, I'm still a little nervous. And he goes, yeah, and so he just
Yeah.
kind of said, knock it off. But
Yeah.
he was just kind of saying, quit bothering me, I'm taking pictures. And so I walked up to the Blackened thing. I said, can I get some of that, please?
Yeah.
So he poured me a little glass, and I said, thank you. I walked away, walked out into the little hallway, and I said, shock, threw it in the garbage. And I said, I need a little edge breaker. So I had to take the edge off just
And it
a
worked.
hair. I'll tell you
It
what,
worked.
it was amazing. It was amazing. It was a bucket list moment for sure.
Yeah.
So then we went to,
So how long did your interview go?
oh my God.
Because it wasn't 5 minutes.
No, it was probably 10 or 12.
Anyone who's ever sat there and been worried about missing a flight or a train or a plane because Jonathan's talking to somebody. They know.
You've been a handler for a while,
but
too.
you know, it's
part and parcel
why
of the
you're
game.
there. That's
Yep.
why you're there, and
Yep.
his ability to connect and his ability
To
to remember
remember.
somebody. You know, sometimes I'll forget someone's name 2 minutes after I met him, and
Right.
he'll remember them 12 years ago.
It's crazy.
His mind. There are people whose minds just work differently,
And that's him.
And yeah, he's number one on the list.
Absolutely. So then we went to STG, Scandinavian Tobacco Group, which in America, the arm of STG is General
General.
Cigars, right? So General Cigars has tons and tons of brands. And so what they did was really kind of cool. Lady came over and said, hey to me, and hey to Chief.
Gene or somebody else?
Not Gene.
Okay.
I forget lady's name right now. I'm not Jonathan Drew. So she says, hey, and she says, I'm going to take you to this person. And they're just basically reps in those brands.
Yeah.
And so she'd say, okay, we're going to go over here. And then she goes, wait, they just got with somebody. And so we'd have to go wait to go with somebody else. And so we went from person to person to person to person. We went to, and I didn't understand that. So the first guy I went to was Macanudo.
Okay.
And so I thought he was going to tour me through the whole place because there was 12 to 15 different stanchion sections of different label brands, right? Cohiba, Macanudo, and everything else. And I thought he was going to take me through all of them. So he gives me his talk about the new cigar they have and the fact that it has Spanish tobacco from up on the mountains, where it's chunky, rocky soil, and there's not a lot of atmosphere up there, so the plant has to struggle, and through the struggle, it gains its soul, and it presents that soul into the cigar.
Okay.
And so we got done talking about it, and he paused, and I said, "So what else you got new?" And he kind of looked at me, and then it dawned on me, he just telling me about this one wall, right?
Yeah.
So after that was done, I said, well, thank you very much, and you know, went about my way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, every company does it different.
Way
right?
different, hugely.
You know, and when you're a big company like General Cigar, you can have one person for each brand, right?
Yeah.
Drew Estate does it different. I know Oliva does it different. So everyone does it differently. So that was probably what made most sense.
The Emissary. That's their cigar. That's the Macanudo.
Yeah.
So we got the Macanudo, and then we went to Cohiba.
Yeah.
And I just saw, because they set me up sample packs and stuff, they dumped a bunch of stuff in there. And by the way, I stole some from there too. But Macanudo, or Cohiba, came up, and this guy starts talking to me, and they have this gorgeous piano red, piano black humidor with a lock on it, but it also has a biometric scan to get into your cigars. When you open it up, it has all these drawers, these shelves of cigars that will swing out like an accordion. Gorgeous presentation.
Yeah.
Amazing presentation.
Sounds
I didn't even ask how much it would cost. I didn't got no money for that, right? Tupperware in a Boveda pack, right?
Works the same.
It don't look
It
like
don't
that.
look as nice, but it
So-
works the same.
So this fella, Sean, I think was his name, he talked to me for a while, and he told me about all the Cohiba brands, and that they now have a Cohiba Lonsdale, which is the first Lonsdale Cohiba has ever had. And it's this one right here. Or Lancero, sorry.
Yeah.
It's a Lancero. Luckily, it's written on the back, so I'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's a Lancero that they've come out with. But not only did he give me that, he gave me their brand new Cohiba Serie M, which is the Cohiba Serie M. This is the new one. The last year's Serie M was a green band, gorgeous brand, great smoke. Made my list for last year, but MSRP on this is upwards of $30.
And they packed it with Spanish cedar. That's
A little
pretty
Spanish
cool.
cedar. Well, it's, if you think about it, if these are upwards of $30, that's 3, 6, 9, 12. That's money right there.
Yeah.
So no, you can't have that. Then we went to We went and saw the Knuckle Buster people, and they talked about that, which this is the shade. I'm smoking it right now. I've had the Knuckle Buster Maduro, but this is a solid cigar as well. Then we went and saw the brand for Sancho Panza. Now, I held up 2 because I thought I had separated them. They always give us 2 because me and Chief would fight over 5. That's an odd number. So usually we get a pack a piece and then we do with it what we do. And then the last guy I went to, and I was impressed with this brand. They have this CAO Fasa, and it's talking about it's in the sunshine, and the other one is a darker Maduro wrapper. I think, or this is the Maduro wrapper. The other one's a natural wrapper. So one is the sun and one is the moon, and they've got cutouts. They've got cutouts on the band. So that brown that you see in there is actually the tobacco. But as you can see in that band, there's a point. You see that point right there? That point matches the divot on the bottom of the foot. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
And he was pretty proud of his boxing because the top slid off and then it made a header, and you put the other half under the foot and it made a stand and you could flip it around. He really loved the box. Steven when he did the video, he asked the guy to undo and redo the box so that he could do some B-rolls. So when you watch the General Cigar video, I know you're gonna see that.
Yeah.
So we got done with that. Oh! While Steven was talking to somebody, or he was taking photos, and I was done, there was a guy in a cart there.
Serving ham?
Iberico ham. And he was cutting it. And
What'd you think?
I walked over there with my camera.
Yeah.
And I took a couple pictures, and then I'm videoing it. I'm being real quiet. I'm not trying to ask for no ham. I'm not trying to do nothing. And I'm holding the camera. The guy looks up, and he sees me, and he cuts a big old slice of thin sliver.
Yeah.
But it's a long, fat sliver.
Yeah.
And he holds it up to the camera lens.
Yeah.
And then he turns it around, and he hands it to me. And I threw that thing in my mouth.
What do you think?
I thought it was good. A little salty.
Yeah, no, but
it's
Iberico ham is
creamy.
I think that's my favorite.
It is so creamy. Melts in your mouth.
When I was in Spain, anytime we passed by someone and they do it like on a very fresh baguette. It's probably not a baguette, but it's like a baguette.
Not an egg bagel.
No, definitely not an egg bagel. Rookie mistake there.
So I
BTCG.
like the egg bagel. I would eat the egg bagel.
Come on, now you're being nice.
Now, it was funny when you were talking about the bagels.
Wait, if you like that bagel, how much of it did you eat?
I didn't want to eat all the bread. I was full. Now, I'm going to talk about Mac, Mr. Jacksonville himself. He says,
Love that egg bagel.
He goes, I'll take a bagel, whatever kind of bagel it was, and schmear.
Yeah.
Schmear. He didn't say schmear. He said schmear. He's whole. Hey. He got all above the Mason-Dixon line on me.
My family's originally from Boston.
Boston.
It's just I was born in Virginia.
But it took me back when you said schmear. I said, I'm on Seinfeld.
I know what I'm doing.
And so after they did all these great things, gave us all these cigars, tons and tons of cigars.
Yeah.
Got a great time. Got some ham. What did I do?
Stole something.
I stole something. That's right. I stole something. And look at this thing right here. This is a fancy Macanudo lighter. Oh my goodness. Look at that right there. That's fancy. I only stole one, so Chief is out of luck. Right? So we got that. Where do we go next? I don't remember. Oh, I had some downtime.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to go to Boveda. Not to do an interview, right? Because I've asked them before, and they aren't interested.
Right.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
So I went to Boveda and I asked them, I said, hey, I got some questions. And the guy said, yeah, how can I help you? I said, let me tell you first, I'm not a retailer, I'm media.
Yeah.
So if you need to take care of somebody, take care of somebody. Because they're there to do that. Now, they have people that do media at different booths, and that's their job. But if your job is to sell, you need to be selling. You might have a quota or something.
Yeah.
But he goes, no, I'm good. I said, all right. He was smoking a Cuban, Hoyo de Monterrey.
Must be nice.
At least it looked like a Cuban. It might not have been a Cuban, but it looked like a Cuban. So he said, how can I help you? I said, I'm doing this video series on, you get these winadors off of Facebook Marketplace for $20-$50, and then you can buy Boveda packs, and you can turn it into a humidor. I said, because all a humidor is a box that holds humidity that you can get into.
Right.
That's it. And I said, I've got that. I just don't have humidity. And instead of buying something like that, I bought a 10-pack of Boveda packs, and I
Mm-hmm.
stuck them in there.
Mm-hmm. You
I
didn't
put
tell them
5
that
in
you
there, and
recharged them, did you?
no, I said I just put the 5 in there, and then when they get hard and crisp, I put the new 5 in there. I didn't say what I did with the old 5 because they frown upon that recharging this turd. So he goes, first he goes, hey, you need a bag. I said,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So
Oh, there we go.
he gave me one of these great bags, which I call barn smoker bag,
Yeah.
but it's got a full Boveda pack. I mean, that's
Yeah.
$6 right there,
Yeah.
right? And that bag, I got a lot of cigars to take home, and I don't want rattling
Mm-hmm.
around the truck, in the
Suitcase.
suitcase. Thank you very much. But then when he was sitting there, he goes, so tell me once you're doing it for you, you're trying to start a business, and I'm like, no. I'm social media.
Yep.
I have a YouTube page. I have a this and that. And I'm going to do a video.
A video
And
series.
he goes, oh, okay. And he reaches under the drawer and he pulls out this thing.
Oh.
This is the equivalent of like 12 of those big Boveda packs. Feel how heavy that thing is.
Oh, wow.
He said, so you can take that, this big old hawker right here, and just throw it in there and be dead.
Be done with it.
Yeah.
You don't need 5.
I
You just need 1.
was going to ask him for 2 so that I could
much does that
recharge
run?
this
How
one.
much does that run, you
I
think?
don't know how much this runs. This one was free $99, but I will do my research to say that you can either go with the Boveda packs and it costs you this much. You can go with this big
Yeah.
old Boveda Butler. I think these are called the Butlers.
Well, I thought the Butlers were their wireless thing.
Oh, that's right, it was.
Yeah.
But they've got the wooden ones that you can actually put in there that hold
Yeah,
your Boveda
yeah,
things.
yeah.
But you know what? You put Bovedas on top of cigars, they're not gonna be a problem. I mean, you
No.
can put them on naked cigars. So, let me sit that down there. Did I get all that stuff? I went and saw Artesano del Tobacco
Yeah.
and got an El Pulpo,
Oh, there you go.
right? And they were very excited. We did a video with them. That's what we did. We did a pop-up video with them
Yeah.
early in the morning,
Mhm.
and they are so energized and electric and funny. I just enjoy them.
They should hire you as their brand manager.
my gosh.
You made their brand last year.
You know what? I almost told them that, but that would be a lie, and it would have sounded
I don't think
bad.
it's a lie.
Well,
Well, you don't have to say it, then I'll say it.
I pushed it hard.
Yeah.
Chief did too.
Yeah.
So
both of you.
But they told me Cigar
Brought it up
Snob
a
rated
bunch.
it at 90 and so and so rated.
Yeah.
So somebody else in the big
But it was
big
on the
wigs heard from us.
BTCG Cigars of the Year.
Yes, it was.
I mean, not above my
Number
cigar.
3? No, not
above my
not
cigar.
at all.
But it was, and it,
it was above
high.
your cigar on Steven's list.
Who's reading
But I
that
digress.
list? No
let
offense.
me not. Oh, let me not start a fight here. So then, where do we go to next? Pull out my old book. Adventura STG. So then we went to Romacraft
Yeah.
and we hung out. We didn't see Skip or anybody, but we met a great guy that we got to interview last year. Really neat fella. And he's talking about the new Cro-Magnon.
Yeah.
And in the new Cro-Magnon, you know, most of your bands for Roma are that 2-color craft paper that you can't get off, but you can't see the letters. They're just pressed in. And so you can't ever look at them. And actually taking photographs really sucks because you can't see it.
Right.
Well, now, you remember when you were a kid, when you would want to put a label on your thing, you had a label maker where you would
Right.
turn the dial and you squeeze
Oh,
it?
absolutely.
That's what this new Cro-Magnon label looks like. It's a black band with silver letters, but it looks like it's been stamped out with that little stampy out thing. And so we got there. We had a good time with them. Steven, he's a real big Roma guy. He loves Roma.
Yeah.
And so he did a lot more talking about it than I did. But the interview went well. The guy did a great job. It's gonna be a shorter interview, but it was nice. What do you think of that cigar?
Yeah, it's an excellent smoke.
Yeah. Looks good on your pants too.
Well, my wife called, so I texted her saying, "I'll call you later. I'm on YouTube Live."
And she
Thinking
said I'm
she'd
first.
be like, "Oh, okay. Let me check it out." She said, "Not urgent. We'll talk later." So I don't think she's gonna log in.
I feel the love. So I saw Fabian over at Aganorsa.
My guy.
I interviewed him yesterday, but I saw Fabian at Aganorsa, and he goes, because that on green, and, you know, he's Team Green, and Terrence is Team Blue. And so he goes, oh, with Team Green, I've got to give you some
I'm
cigars.
Team Green all the way.
And so he handed me a handful of these new release cigars.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they are. He just put them in my hand and put them in a bag and sent them on his way.
Look at those bands.
Arsenio?
Yeah.
That doesn't
That's not
look like
Arsenio
Arsenio
Hall.
Hall.
That does not look like Arsenio
But these are
Hall.
some gorgeous cigars, some gorgeous bands that I will be validating as soon as I can.
Yeah, I probably stopped by their booth 8 times, just because when I started at Drew Estate, I started with Fabian, and I learned a ton from Fabian. So you know, I just wanted to say hello and all that. Slammed every time, every time, you know. And I get the, you know, and he, you know, I mean, he's doing his job. So
Right.
But I hope I
And
get
everybody
a chance
loves
to see him
him.
tomorrow. Oh, I mean, he's the best.
He is.
the
He's
best.
amazing. So last night you weren't here.
I was at dinner with
I-
my customer.
I stole a lighter from Fabian.
Oh, nice.
And this lighter is a company called Visol, Visol.
Yeah.
That it said provided by Visol, right? They were smart.
Right.
They're a small accessory company, and so they're going to give it to everybody that's going to be on their desks and it's going to say it, and they're going to walk. I mean, it's smart advertising.
Yeah.
But this thing was amazing. It was really big, chunky, but it had a pebbled, textured kind of feel in a flat black, which looks
Yeah.
like that finish is going to hang on real well.
Right.
The top lid was a cigar rest,
Right.
a solid size cigar rest. You flipped it up, had a quad jet. Did I show it to you this morning?
Yeah.
I did show it to you.
Well, I took
That's-
a video of it.
See, that's my friend Mac. He's going to let me just keep talking,
Yeah.
knowing he's like, dummy, you showed it to me this
No,
morning.
I took a video of it and I sent
right.
it to Tommy Z.
That's right.
Saying you need to get these. And
That's right.
He says he's been talking to the guys, so you know, I hope they make it happen. But I mean, we see swag from all over, and you know, obviously, you know, working at Drew Estate or working at Swisher, you know, people see the swag that Drew Estate provides, and
Right.
they want to get in there,
Right.
right? And so, anytime you're at one of these shows, the swag people just, you know, come out of the woodwork, and that was the first time in a while that I was like, wow,
That's impressive,
That's
right?
impressive. So,
So he had a bunch of other things, and I went over to him. I just went over to
Yeah.
the booth. I had some time. I walked over and I said, hey, I just want to tell you, I was over at Aganorsa with Fabian doing a review or doing an interview, and I saw that tabletop lighter that you
Yeah.
had, and I was blown away. That is the perfect all one and done gear,
Yeah.
right? And he goes, which one was it? We walked around his booth, and he had a lot of different selections,
Yeah.
all different price points. And he said, oh, that one right there. And I said, yeah. I said, it was stinking amazing. And I said, last night I did a live show, just a PCA coverage, and I showed it to he let me borrow it for the night, and I showed it to them. I know, borrow. It might still be in my room. I let him borrow. He let me borrow it for the night.
Check bag tomorrow,
And
Bob.
so I have a check bag.
Yeah.
I bought a check bag.
Yeah.
And so I told him about the lighter, told him I had held it up and stuff like this. And he goes, really? He goes, tell me about you.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. And I told him a little bit about the channel, what we do. And he goes, really? He goes, do you have a card? And I said, no. And that's my fault, because last year I told Chief to buy cards. He bought the most amazing cards.
Yeah.
But 100 cards were $75. And I just didn't want to pull trigger on, because I only gave out 10 cards. Come to find out, Steven gave out all but 4. So I probably should have bought cards again this year. But those
Yeah.
cards were amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at him for it. But the guy goes, yeah, and I gave my contact information. He contacted me. We did a little address and blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. And he goes, hey, I said, I'm going to be on a show tonight, and I'll tell them about that we met. And he goes, well, take this with you.
Woo.
This is their brand new Visol lighter. Quad? No, triple jet.
Triple jet.
It's no gas. Well, yeah, it is a little bit of gas. It's got that nice big triple jet in it. Got a big fuel window. It's a knurled feel for grabbing it. It's got a big dial for adjustments.
What's
And
that on the side?
yeah, that's it.
Is that a punch?
That's a perfecto tool.
Oh.
Cigar's a little tight.
When you're
Stab it.
smoking them Cubans.
Stab it and get it, right? And how did he do this? I don't know how to get in
I
there.
see
Oh,
the
there it
punch.
is.
Yeah.
There it is. There's a little button here. Boom! Right? Look at that thing.
That's neat.
That's pretty snazzy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check them out tomorrow.
That's pretty snazzy. They're back in the, when you come in, if you go all the way left, they're right on the corner.
Can I tell a quick story?
I wish you would.
Our the Drew Estate distributor in Venezuela, Herman Nunez, amazing, and all the stuff going on in Venezuela, and he's still doing an amazing job. And he had a thing where customers would come into his shop. He didn't sell Cubans. He sold only Nicaraguan, Honduran. And they'd come into his shop and they'd say, "Hey, do you have that device that you put in your cigar to loosen up the draw?" And he would always say, "You know what? If you buy one of these other cigars, I'll give it to you for free, and you'll never need it again."
Smart. That ain't
So
stupid.
they buy a Drew Estate, they buy another competitor cigar.
That ain't stupid.
And then he goes, "They don't come back for that punch anymore. They come back for our cigars." So
That's pretty smart.
yeah.
That's pretty smart. So our last interview for the day was my father's, and I got to talk to a feller, and he talked about all their new blends, and he gave me a handful of stuff.
Wow.
And all sorts of stuff. He was talking about some of the newer cigars. He said, "I can't give you the brand new cigars because the first day somebody gave them out like water."
Yeah.
So there were
It
none of those
happens.
cigars. The guy, probably one of the big blenders
big
or
cheeses.
somebody that just handed him,
Big
handfuls, and I just wasn't there on the right time. But it was nice. My father's booth is very open, but it's very elegant and very clear, and there was nothing for me to steal because it was all under thick glass that I couldn't just lift up and grab. And their stuff was big, and if I
Smash
grabbed,
and grab.
yeah, if I would have grabbed
Smash and
something
grab.
from there, then I would have been caught. But
But
after I was done, I went and saw my friends at Quality Importers,
oh yeah.
one of our sponsors,
Yeah.
and we're sponsored for this year, and we just needed to finalize some things, some back and forth, and so I went over there to put a face to a name, right? So that I can say hello, shake their hand, give them a hug, talk to them. First guy that comes up to me, he says, "Hey, Bob." And I said, "Hey." And he goes, "How you doing? How are things? How's the channel?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Little did I know at that moment, it didn't register to me that he was the president of the company.
Oh, my former boss.
Yes. And so he said,
Alex
"Hey."
Coleman.
And so I thought he was a rep. And so I was just going to get some information because I had gone by earlier, and the lady that I needed to see, Brittany, which is our contact, was busy, and she was busy again. I didn't want to interrupt
Yeah.
her. And so I was standing there kind of loitering around, and he comes
Yeah.
talking. I said, "So, you want to take a minute and show me what's new?"
Yeah.
The president of the freaking company. God loves children and fools. That's all I'm saying. He said, "Yeah." And then he proceeded, he showed me a couple lighters where there's a lighter. That joker's this big and that big around. And he says you can light 150 cigars with it. It takes almost a full can of full can of butane.
Yeah.
That thing's amazing. He's got a quad jet. Didn't steal it. I didn't steal this stuff
But you don't want to
because,
steal from a sponsor, do you?
well, I'd stole from Drew Estate.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Forgot to steal from J.C. Newman.
Yeah.
Stole from Villiger. Kind of. Well, Villiger actually gave me their trade show thing because we told him about the bracket.
Right.
And he goes, "I need to put more cigars in there." Smart
genius,
man. He
genius.
goes, "How many do you need?" And I was thinking 20, and I told him 5 because I like Villiger cigars.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm in there, and he goes and he shows me the lighters. He shows me a couple cutters, and he shows me a neat ashtray. And then he goes, "Well, let me show you our newest thing."
Yeah.
And he says, "We have now started to make cigars." He gave me one. I smoked it. It was good. But then he gave, it's called the conspiracy. And it's does that not look like something Michael Giannini would have drawn up?
Yeah.
Right? And so it's a conspiracy cigar, but here's the kick. Quality Importers is not a cigar manufacturer.
Right.
They are accessories.
Right.
So they came
Great
up with this
accessories.
idea that if you buy a cigar, one cigar, you get a free cutter. If you buy with the branding on it.
Yeah.
If you buy 5 cigars, you get a small wooden Travador or humidor that will hold 5 cigars.
Yeah.
If you buy 10 cigars, you get a 20 count humidor, a wooden count humidor. And then it moves up from there. And they're going to send it all to the retailers. So the retailers have the whole display. So the retailers buy the cigars and they get all this stuff. And they said, and if you buy so many, they actually give you this XI cutter and a lighter. And he goes, those right there, MSRP for $150.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And so he gets done talking to me. And
You're still talking to Alex.
yes. And so he's telling me what's going on, or I'm telling him kind of what's going on. And then he tells me who he is, pretty much. And I'm like, oh. And, you know.
I introduced you to him
I know,
last year.
I slept since then.
Yeah.
They all look the same in those suits, and they all have the
That's
little
true.
thing on, and da-da-da-da-da.
That's
And
true.
so he said, hey, Michael, and grabs Michael Giannini.
Yeah.
And he goes, do you know, and before anything could say,
Yeah.
he raised his hand, which I was surprised because he probably had 17 pounds of rings and blings and bracelets. Giannini, right? And so he comes up, he goes, I know you, Bob.
Yeah.
He comes and gives me a big hug. We did some interviews at Barn Smoker back when I
Right.
used to be real loud.
Yeah.
I scared the fart out of him. I did it, and I told him I was going to be last time I'm going to be loud.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know.
Yeah.
Because I did that every time. And he goes, okay, I'm not worried about it. Well, time came.
And then he was.
Bob was louder than he expected, and he actually stopped. He said, wait. And he had to sit there for a minute and collect himself. And he said, okay, I'm ready. And so we went back into the video. So he remembered that. I left a mark on his brain.
That's tough to forget.
Right? And so he remembered that. And I did that to Frankie Drinks, and he got the hiccups. I scared him so bad he got the hiccups. He did the whole interview with the hiccups. Ergo, why I don't do it anymore. So Michael Giannini's going, yeah, I know there was something going on with this and the sponsorship. What can we do? I know you had some issues. What's going on? And so I talked to him, and he goes, okay. And I said, and Brittany's my contact. And she went and talked to Brittany. I went and talked to Brittany for a minute, and Brittany gave me a hug, but she was in the middle of a meeting. And so she grabs Michael, and she goes, hey, I don't have to introduce you. You know everything about what's going on.
Wow.
These are his sponsorships. This is what we need to do. Can you take care of this? And
Yeah.
Michael said, yeah. So we dive deeper into it, and he goes, wait. I'm going to give you my email and my personal contact, but the person you talk to is Julie. And
Okay.
evidently she's a
Yeah.
bigwig in there as well. And he says, well, you say, he goes, you want to do it later or you want to do it now? I said, we're going to leave the show soon,
Yeah.
and I'd like to get this all done now. Because the email thing it just takes longer.
Yeah.
And so I sat there and waited. She came over, nice lady from Georgia. She came over, and she goes, hey, let's come over to the table over here. We went to the table over there and sat down. And she said, so what's going on? And her pen wouldn't write. And she goes, I'll be right back. And she goes in the little cubbies, the
Thankfully,
hidey
they don't
holes.
sell pens.
Yeah, right. She goes in the hidey holes.
Yeah.
And she comes out with a pen, and it writes for about 4 letters, and it goes dead. And luckily, I'm Bob. I carry 17 pens
Right,
in my bag.
right.
So I reach in and I pull out a pen, and I said, here you go. It's brand new. You can have it. If you're doing negotiations,
That's right.
you give them something, so
Yeah.
they give you, right? I
Right.
ain't dumb. I'm stupid, but I ain't dumb. And so she says, thank you, da-da-da-da, and we start talking and start chewing on everything that's going on. Short story long, we're agreeing to everything exactly the same as it was last year, sponsorship-wise, and they want a long-term relationship. They love what
That's
we're doing.
awesome.
They want us to do more. They want a long-term relationship, and they value us
Yeah.
even more, which was great.
Well, if I can say one thing about my former boss, Alex Goldman, he knows talent. He plucked me out of, I was hired as a lobbyist.
Yeah,
now
you
look
were.
at me. Now
Look
at
at
me.
you. Look at you.
And obviously he knows talent. He's got
Well,
BTCG.
they treated me really nice.
I mean, I had it a couple years earlier, but I don't have the pocketbook. But
I know. You can't pay
he
me to
knows
sponsor you in Milwaukee.
he knows talent. So I think that speaks very highly of the channel and all the work you guys have been doing.
You're so awesome. Well, I left a part out of this story.
Okay.
So and no, I didn't steal anything. And so at the end of this thing, I told them about the live,
Yeah.
and she goes, "Well, did they get you something?" I said, "Yeah, I got one of the cigars, and I got these. I got a cutter lighter." She goes, "From the cigar line?" I said, "Yes." And she goes, and I'm digging in my bag,
Yeah.
and she's looking to see what it is.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
And it's a Cigar
Mm-hmm.
XI.
Yep. Here, I'll open it.
Thank you.
You talk.
It's a Cigar XI cutter, which is branded the Conspiracy. And then to match, and on the back it's even branded as well. And to match, it's got the Conspiracy lighter.
That's the back side.
So she looked at that, she opened up the box, or she tilted the box back and saw the name of it, and she goes, "Who gave this to you?"
Yeah.
I said, "The owner of the company." And she said his name, and I said, "Yeah." I said, "He's right there." She goes, "He gave this to you?"
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Yeah." And I thought I was in trouble.
Right.
And I said, "Yeah, he gave it to me." She goes, "Oh, he took care of you."
Oh, good.
And I said, "Yeah?" She goes, "We haven't given one of those away to anybody." She goes, "We don't have those to give away. We just had some in the bottom." And and she was almost shook that, yeah, he got the goods. And so I was like, "Oh." And then it dawned on me, that's their new stuff that they're going to be giving away when you buy boxes and boxes, or 10 boxes, you get these things. And so that's fantastic. I'm excited about that. And I didn't have to steal it.
Right. Well, then
So-
you don't have to steal because you got something very special.
Well, I didn't want, I mean, yeah, stealing and not stealing, and I don't steal. Actually, that was the way to get people to watch.
Yeah.
In all reality, I went to people and I say, "Can you give me something? I'll give it back to you." Because I'm not gonna. I'm
Don't
not
pull
gonna
the curtain
steal.
back.
No, I'm
This is-
not.
this is
I'm gonna
magic.
show you the pudding.
This is magic.
I'm
This
not
is the
gonna show
magic
you. I know
YouTube.
yeah, but
I don't think anyone thought you were stealing.
halfway
anyway.
through it, I felt kind of bad that people were thinking I'm a thief.
Yeah.
You know. If I give you a name, I bet you know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
This is Johnny Soyak. Do you know Johnny Soyak?
I don't know Johnny.
He
Soyak.
is the creator and patenter of the cigar in the bottle. It's a very, very, very expensive adult libation and a very, very expensive infused cigar that is actually in the middle of the bottle. The bottle is hollow up the center, and the cigar is in there, and people will buy this for themselves, or you can get a shot at the bar. And whoever gets the last shot out of the bottle gets the cigar. Well, we had talked about getting together, and I dropped the ball, and I didn't talk to him about it much. And so we didn't do anything last year. But I went, and as soon as he saw me, he goes, hey, we got to do something. We got to do something. And I said, all right. And he goes, I got something for you. Now, I thought he was going to hand me that big bottle. $400 bottle, right?
Should've.
He did not do that. But
Should've.
what he did do
He wanted to promote.
was he gave me, it's not that one, that's El Pulpo.
Missed opportunity.
there it is.
My opinion.
He gave me the actual cigar that
very
is
nice.
in the bottle,
Yeah.
right? He gave me 2.
Okay.
And then he gave me 2 little FDA approved size bottles of the libation.
I would still put it in your check bag.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But I'm gonna put this in check bag and we'll do a review on it. And he
Okay.
also said I only have small samples because anybody sees a big sample, they want big samples, and they're just trying to get free liquor. And
Yeah.
he goes, "You're different. You know, we're doing stuff, and I want to send you 2." So he goes, whenever you get a chance, hit me up and get me your address, and I'll send it to you. I don't know if I'm gonna get the big bottle or I might
Look
get a
at
big
you.
sample, but
Look at you, big man.
But I'll do a review with that, and hopefully you'll like it, and he'll send me a big bottle, and
Yeah.
and that'll be a fun little review as well. Maybe we'll do a table review.
Well, tell him you need. Is it you that has the rule that you got to have 2, or is that Chief? So he needs to send 2 if he wants to be on the top 10 list. I mean, I'm
Well,
just calling him like I see him.
we could not get with Foundation, which broke my
Yeah.
heart. Right.
Oh, they've been
I
slammed.
really want to talk with Nick, but our schedules didn't G and Haw.
Yeah.
And we've been trying to get with him the past 2 days, and it just didn't happen. Well, Stephen walked over there at the end of the day, near the end of the day, and told him, said, "Hey, I'm sorry we can't do the interview. It's too bad that we didn't have time." Blah 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 blah. He's talking to one of the reps, and so the guy goes, "Oh, well, here, let me give you 2 cigars." He gave him the 2 new Wiseman cigars.
Oh, okay.
Steven comes over and he goes, "I got bad news for you." And I said, "What?" He goes, "I went to Foundation and they gave me 2 of the new, one of each of the new Wiseman blends, and I'm keeping them."
Team
And
player.
I said, "What?"
Noted,
I said, "You're keeping one, right?"
Noted team player.
I don't blame him. I would have tried to sneak that myself. So what did I do?
Yeah. You went over?
I walked over there.
Yeah.
And it was right when Nick was switching.
Yeah.
And he looked up and he saw me, and Nick is amazing. He made a beeline to me. We shook hands. We gave a big hug, and I said, "I wanted to come and apologize to you personally that our schedules didn't together. I'm really sad I missed you. I'm really sad that I didn't get to interview with you. I just wanted to sit down and spend time with you. I really enjoy our time regardless." And he goes, "I know." He goes, "I've got to go talk with this guy, and I've got to get in here and do this, and I am so sorry." And he turned around and he looked at one of the reps, and he goes, "Hey, give Bob a bundle of all of our cigars."
Nice.
And no, he did not say that.
Come on.
No.
Should have given you a box.
But he said hook him up with some of the with the new Wiseman cigars. So
Yeah.
I got my 2, and I thought about keeping the 2 on the down low, and then tell Steven, you got to give him one of your cigars. But that's
I would, I'm a scrounger, but I wouldn't do that.
I'd be fine if he was mad at me if I did that and snuck him like that. So you're going to be here tomorrow. We're flying out in the morning.
I know. It's going to be sad.
Our flights got canceled.
What?
In the middle, yeah. I like that you did that. It's
Yeah.
like a ruh-roh reggae.
What?
But around 11 o'clock, we get notification from American Airlines that our flight has been canceled from Las Vegas to Dallas.
Okay.
And Steven goes, "Our flight's been canceled." And I pulled it up, and sure enough, it is. And we're sitting here worrying about how we're going to get home.
Well, they got to rebook you.
Yeah, but we didn't know that.
Yeah.
We thought we were SOL.
Nah.
And so they did, an hour later, they booked us a flight, which we fly out of here at 6 o'clock, which means we got to head
But
towards
did
the airport at
you
3
check
o'clock.
your seats?
Yes.
Middles?
No.
Oh, thank
One's in the
goodness.
middle, one's in the window on the first flight from from here to Dallas. And I tried to change my seat, but there was no aisle seats.
Yeah.
And then the next flight from Dallas to Greenville, we both have aisle seats.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how long it
So
takes.
it's Dallas to Greenville. You don't have to go to Charlotte.
No, we go to Greenville. We go straight to
okay.
Greenville Spartanburg, which makes it really nice because then we just get in the car and we drive home.
Yeah.
Well, we have to go get our checked luggage. I hate
How long
that.
does that take in Greenville? It can't take long.
Why? It's a smaller airport. It takes forever for them to get our luggage. I just hate it. I just don't like it. I don't like it.
I read an article today about, it's called ABC, Always Be Checking. And with everyone trying to get as much stuff as they can in the overhead bins, and airlines are really cracking down on your 2 items. Some airlines, if you bring a pillow, they're counting that as an item.
Really?
Or a blanket, that counts as an item. And, the lack of stress you have when you just check the bag and you show up. And they were saying that the amount of luggage that's actually lost is like less than 1%.
Yeah, but I'm that 1%. And so, there's ways around that.
Yeah. Well,
more than 2 items. If
Yeah.
you go and take 6 items in there with you,
Right.
and you go to the airport store,
Yeah.
and you buy something with an airport bag, you put all the stuff in there.
Yeah.
They think you bought it from the airport, you can take it on a plane.
Right.
But usually they just check with American Airlines, because we usually get back seats, so everybody's
Yeah.
taking up our spots. they usually just take and put a tag on it and they put it under the plane. And then
Yeah.
when you leave, they pull it up on the tarmac so you still have it with you.
Right.
You don't have to go through the
Gate check.
the rotunda thing. Which Dallas had, or Las Vegas had
Rotunda.
so many
No,
many
Las
rotundas.
Vegas is bad. Las Vegas is bad. Jacksonville, you know, it's usually not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, like, if I'm flying internationally, you come back into the States, let's say you arrive in Atlanta, you have to wait for your bag to come
Go
off,
through customs.
go through customs, and then put it. Like, you know, if I fly to Germany, I don't have to do that. I don't know why we do that here. It's awful. I've almost missed flights because the luggage took forever.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's, but domestic now, you know, it adds 10, 15 minutes. And yeah, there are times I just like, I don't want to deal with that. But then
I just hate it. I want
if
to get
don't
off the
have
plane
have
and go
that
to the
bag
car.
with me and like, oh, I'm going to the bathroom, or you know, where am I going to put this bag, and you know, what am I trailing this bag through? What are these fluids on the floor? You know, and bring that stuff into my house. You know,
Eh,
it's either way. You kind of make a decision.
it's just personal preference, I guess.
Yeah. But now, I mean, and if you have good stuff, and you have any fears that TSA is going to take it, check it.
They'll check it at there. There ain't as many cameras. Some guy could just open it up and go rifling through your stuff and pull it out. They could take a poop in it and close it back up. You wouldn't know who did it.
They could. I
You know?
doubt it. It's
I
never
doubt
happened
it.
to me.
I doubt it too.
It's never happened to me.
I've never heard it happen, but there's a global possibility, right? I mean, somebody
well,
probably
anything's
did.
a possibility.
But so we're done. You're here tomorrow,
I'm here tomorrow.
right? We're leaving first thing in the morning, and tonight we probably will get no sleep
Yeah.
because I brought my $100.
Okay.
It's my tradition. I'm gonna go put
Yeah.
$100 on roulette and lose it, or I will get up to $1,000.
And walk away.
Last year I got all the way up to $275, and everybody was saying leave, and I'm like, that's not a story. I expect to lose my $100.
Right.
I just expect to, like going into a restaurant or going to Disney. You don't take that money back with you. It's just the experience.
Right.
And I want to sit there at the roulette table and just have that James Bond moment, right?
Well, then you got to play Pai Gow. Isn't that what James Bond plays? Or Baccarat?
Okay, I feel like James Bond because those things are hard.
Yeah.
Roulette is real
A lot
simple.
of math.
You can either vote. You can put your chips on black or red,
Yeah.
odd or even,
Yeah.
high or low.
Right.
It's a 48% chance of winning,
Right.
right? And so I don't do the numbers, you know. I just play it that route.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to Resort
Well, I
World
wish you luck.
and do that.
tonight.
You gonna come? Or are you gonna crash tonight?
I'm going. Are we doing dinner?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Steven was like, "What do you want to do for dinner? What do you want to do for dinner?" I said, "I want to get back to the hotel
Yeah.
and I want to shoot this thing
Yeah.
because yes, between last night and today,
Mm-hmm.
we had 300 views.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
The first night,
Since we were going live at 1 a.m. Eastern.
the first night it was 200 views pretty
Yeah.
much, and it's still creeping up. But
Yeah.
I really saw what happened last, and you know what? I actually want to be done.
Yeah.
And this is my last thing I have to do
Mm-hmm.
for PCA for Villiger. By the way, our friends at Villiger has brought this content, giving you the chance to see the beautiful Mac Berkson right here, sitting right next to me.
I think they're going to want a refund. If that's what they were looking at.
Well,
Yeah.
somebody loves you
But for you, I'd pay double.
in Milwaukee Tools. But if you don't have a cigar, try a Villiger cigar. And if you have a Villiger cigar, buy another.
Yeah.
That's pretty good right there.
Buy a box.
Buy a box or two.
Yeah.
And then remember, we're doing that giveaway next Thursday. We're still finishing up our bracket.
Yeah.
It'll be the top four, one from each bracket.
Right.
We're going to be doing the giveaway on that as well. So you still have a chance to win stuff off the PCA floor. Because we added possibly a Drew Estate pack, and we have added a Villiger pack.
Okay.
So that's going to be awesome. And I think we can call her dead.
All right.
Unless you have some words of wisdom.
No, I mean, this has just been an amazing experience. You know, we were here at PCA last year, and you interviewed me, and unfortunately, we were No, were we in the same hotel last year? Or?
I was in the Venetian.
Yeah, no, okay. Oh yeah, we did breakfast.
Yeah, you were in the
That was,
Palazzo.
yeah. So, no, this has just been phenomenal. So I appreciate you always having me on, and
Absolutely.
appreciate all your hard work on Thursdays. It's something I look
Absolutely.
forward to every week. Like keeping Steven in line, and it's just anything I can do to help. I'm happy to try.
Well, I'm glad you said that. Anything you do to help, and you're happy to try,
Right.
because I would like to close out with class. And
Okay.
like I said 2 days ago, that Mac graduated college with a scholarship to
No.
opera. So Mac is going to do the aria in G.
Do you need me over there?
There ain't nobody over there. And coming.
I'll be right there.
Yes, Mom.
I'll be right there.
Guys, I got to go. The street lights on.
Yeah.
And the street lights are on. So we
Yeah.
are going to go. So Bob the Cigar Guy and Mac Bergson from Las Vegas, Nevada, PCA 2024, closing out this awesome experience. We'll see you later. I love you.
Love your neighbor.
Family friendly, though.